This is Pete Moore on Halo Talks NYC. We are going to talk about education. We're going to talk about community partnerships. We're going to talk about the value of turning your staff into rock stars. I'm bringing to you live on Halo Talks Carol Ann Carpinteria, because I like to say it. I don't even know if it's right. From Lionel University. She's also an adjunct professor, and we're going to talk about 2023 as being the year that we are going to leap forward on educating our teams into rock stars. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, and welcome to San Diego.
Thank you. I actually moved to Manhattan Beach, so I'm on your corridor now.
Nice, West Coast.
From New York City, so I'm glad to be here.
Welcome.
This is my 23rd Ursa, and
in 2023.
I got my hair colored for this event. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
No, I did actually, but I'm wearing a hat. I feel like this industry's been through a lot. I feel like we've come through the other side. There's clearly a shortage of people that want to work hourly or a salaried position inside of a health club, or lack of personal trainers, or lack of group exercise instructors. Some of that maybe is supply demand. Maybe so gig economy kind of took a lot of our people away, or maybe we're not giving them the same financial opportunity or the freedom that they want. So education, I think, is the key to solving a lot of problems.
Absolutely.
Probably most
Absolutely.
in the world is education and science and making the right decisions. So talk about why this is your career path, what got you to here, and then I'll have some follow-up questions.
Sure, yeah, thank you. So I have been in the fitness and health industry, I would say, for the past 15 years. I started out as a volunteer coach in my community and didn't have certs, didn't fully know what I was doing, other than I've been an avid athlete my whole life, and I'm very passionate about fitness and health. And then I started my own nonprofit in kids fitness, and I realized I have a passion for working with new athletes, young athletes that are just getting started on their fitness journey and their health journey, and being a positive force in their lives. And from there, I had amazing coaches in high school that are honestly the reason I'm here today, my cross country and track and field coaches, and they made me want to become a coach specifically for young people. So if I could be the kind of coach that they were to me and pay that forward just for even one kid, let alone 100 of kids, like that would, make me really happy. And I realized that I wanted to give my life to serving my community through the power of fitness, health, and love. And that's what I've been doing. So flash forward, I didn't study that in college. I'm actually a graduate of UC Berkeley, and I went the law route.
Can I ask you one question?
Sure.
Stop you for a second. How do you define community? And the reason I want to just kind of like asterisk this for a second, because some people say, well, I'm affecting my community, and that might be a couple, like their church or their synagogue community. Some people might say a community is my town. Some people might say my community is my city. How do you define what your reach is? And obviously you affect one or two people, like I say, like make someone have a better day than they did before. They're going to pass that on. So how do you think about?
Yeah, I think it starts with one athlete, right? It starts with one person. For me, it doesn't matter what your background is, your, ability level, like where you come from, what walk of life. I think it's being a great coach, a great mentor to one person who then has the capacity to pay it forward, not only for themselves, their immediate family, but for their friends, their community in their apartment complex. Maybe it's their fitness family in their gym. And then from there, it keeps going forward. It catapults forward to the greater community of San Diego, then the United States, and globally. I've had the opportunity when I was at F45 training to help with global education for 65 different countries. So
Wow.
I've started from one athlete, and I've gone all the way to helping people in 65 countries around the world.
Mm-hmm. How do you, why don't you fast forward to where you are today, and I want to talk to you about how you think about your team, how you think about people that you're mentoring or people that are getting certificates, because I know what you're going to say, and I want you to say it, and then I want other people to think the way that you do, because it's not the law of large numbers. It's the law of human interaction that has to be domino effect and replicated.
Sure. Yeah. So, at Lionel University, we're all about providing education for fitness professionals, right? It could be from the certificate level all the way up to a master's of science and exercise science, which is what I'm pursuing. But what drew me to Lionel and what made me want to be a part of this team is that we're all about finding student success for all students from everywhere. We're all about breaking down any and all barriers to them achieving what they want to academically and in the workforce. And I came on Lionel loves this and believes in this concept and this cultural philosophy so much that they actually created an entire division and said, you're going to lead it. And what we want to do is we want to focus on reaching students even from our most under-resourced communities here in San Diego, where I'm based. We want to break down any and all barriers to their academic success and create a program. So we actually partnered up with the San Diego Housing Commission and specifically their Leadership Academy, to create this workforce program for students that might not traditionally have the money or have access to our education. It's a free program that's scholarship based. We take them through PTR 251. So we basically make them certified personal or fitness trainers. That's the start. A lot of us here, I think in this room, got our start that way. And we mentor them. I mentor them in all ways. I become kind of a life mentor as much as an academic or a professional mentor. And the idea is to get them in the workforce. Let's get them a job. And in the process, we see that we're breaking the cycle of homelessness. Yeah. We are helping families become more economically self-sufficient. And ultimately, they're becoming a fitter, healthier version of themselves. What I'm seeing with the students in our program is they may be going on this professional path, but what's happening is their kids are working out with them. I'm helping them, run workouts, and they're bringing their kids, and they're seeing mom and dad being fit and healthy for the first time in their entire life.
I think that changes everything. It all starts at home, and what kind of, what your caloric intakes are, and what kind of food sources you're getting.
And people sometimes just don't know. They don't know what to eat. Yeah. They don't know, or maybe they don't have a ton of money to spend on food, and they're not sure how to provide a nutritious meal for their family. Yeah. So that's obviously coupled hand in hand with what we're trying to do and reduce obesity-related diseases in families, and starting with kids, right?
Yeah. Well, our whole mission with Integrity Square and with the Halo platform is really to try and solve loneliness, obesity, and diabetes. And the only way you could do that in a capitalist society is to have capital.
Yep.
And that we have to reinvest in great ideas, great people, and it takes time to build businesses. So That's kind of like our mission here, is to connect entrepreneurs, executives, ideas, and capital. That's what we're trying to do.
Well, our program does that too. I mean, what we're really looking for, and one of the reasons that I was so honored to be here today and talk about what we're doing, is we are looking to partner up with fitness organizations, not just in San Diego, because we want to bring what we're doing here to all of California, to communities across the nation. And we're looking for amazing organizations that want to be safe places of mentorship, and actually bring, this pipeline of awesome new passionate trainers in and offer mentorship, right? Get them on the job training, get them hired, get them working. And my personal mission is continued education. So let's bring coaches in, and let's have businesses actually invest in continued education to keep those good coaches there, right? Sure. We know retention. I mean, it costs businesses millions of dollars with just the turnaround that happens when they invest in training for their coaches, and then their coaches are out. So I want to create, this model where we're helping the businesses, we're saving them money, helping their bottom line, and helping them invest in amazing trainers, which then invest in their business and in their clients, right? Yeah.
I mean, you kind of take an analogy of like a taekwondo, where everyone gets one of 15 color belts, and you just kind of keep going, and no one really leaves when they're on like a yellow or an orange or something. It's like
black belt or bust.
Have I come this far to come this far? Is what one guy said to me one time. Have you come this far to come this far? I'm like, okay, I'll keep going. So how do people interact with Lionel University? Is it a university from a accreditation standpoint where that allows you to get a student loan?
Absolutely. We're fully accredited all the way up to a master's degree program. Really excited about that. We have a huge military population of students, actually, and we're approved by the Department of Defense, so our students can get all kinds of funding to help with that. But we make sure we break down all those barriers so that everyone can be a student, and especially if they want to be a student in exercise science and, get empowered with knowledge and education to take their career to the next level. That's what we're all about.
Mm-hmm. And once I get into Lionel, how many different programs are there, and what's the time commitment or time to graduate on?
Sure.
And it's all online, asynchronous. Is that the?
It is asynchronous.
Is that the right term? My partner Dave told me what asynchronous. Dave, I'm using the term asynchronous.
I'm really impressed.
We rock asynchronous.
We do rock it.
Asynchronous. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're really for working professionals, right? So we're for people that are out there, they're working, and they want to add to their educational arsenal, if you will. So we run anything from, your certified personal trainer, foundational cert, up to a master fitness trainer. You can even now get your associate's, bachelor's, or even a master's degree in exercise science, which I'm currently pursuing. So focused on fitness leadership and community wellness.
Awesome.
So we offer and everything in between, all kinds of nutrition, everything you need to know.
and then once I have that on my certificate or list of degrees, what does that mean to health club operators, franchisors, franchisees, medical wellness related centers? How does that
Yeah, I mean, I
play out?
definitely think that we're preventative medicine for
Right.
sure. I think by keeping people healthy and keeping their nutrition on point, we're really helping to prevent a lot of obesity-related diseases.
Right.
So I think we're that first line of defense. But I think knowledge is that gives you the power, that gives you the confidence, right? As a trainer or as any type of fitness professional, you gain a lot of knowledge through experience. But how amazing to have that backed up by science.
Yeah.
In my career, I've gone to some of the highest levels. I'm actually the highest level international Olympic level certified track and field and cross country coach, and that was a 3.5 journey for me. And I was afraid of some of the sciences at
You
first.
should have like a track jacket on or something.
I know. I tried to
How can you not
step
have
it
a
up for you
track
with a
coach jacket?
professional
Oh,
jacket
come on.
today.
You wear your
but
track coach jacket
yeah,
next time.
but I can say that I think education has given me the confidence I need to work with anybody, from training a client in the facility all the way up to becoming, a C-suite level leader, right?
Yeah. Does Lionel University have a brand equity in the industry that allows someone to say, okay, I'm going to be a district manager, I'm going to become chief operating officer. Oh, this person went to this school, this, and did these classes at Lionel University. So talk for the people that don't know Lionel, talk about what that means and who's behind it.
Yeah, I think my director, Josh, would say we're a 30-year-old startup, right?
Yeah.
So we were originally part of ISSA, that ISSA College of Exercise Science, and we're only in our second year as actually transitioning over to Lionel University. But our founders, Dr. Salaried, I know he was on here a little while ago, they have basically set the pathway for this university to go to greatness. So we're working hard every day to be innovative, right? Creating programs like we're doing with our workforce program. Every day, my directors are telling me, how can we, keep with the pulse, keep with the times, keep looking at what our students need and want,
Right.
and creating the courses that help them get there. So right now, we're even adding micro-credentials and specialized, certification programs for students to help them kind of fill in the gaps in terms of what they're doing, in their career as a fitness professional.
What are you seeing as some of the, whether you want to use names or not, what companies in this industry or what types of companies are coming to you and saying, look, I don't want these people to pay for their certifications. Like, I don't have an internal training team. I don't have like a Gold's Gym University, become that for us and just tell us how many people finish, and like, we'll just pay you whatever's the reasonable price.
Yeah, I'm glad you bring that up. We're actually working with some big names right now. I'm not sure if I can drop them yet, but they're coming soon in the next month or two. We're actually becoming the national academic partners for some pretty big brands and some pretty big organizations. And they realize the value in, education. And they said, you guys are the experts at this. You have the experts that are there and they want to teach this, and we want you to teach it and teach our students, and we see the value in it. So we're going to put our staff in your hands. So we're actually creating programs right now that are tailored to different brands and different models of operating. So we're really about helping to lift up businesses with what we can offer through Lionel. And come to us, and we'd love to create, your educational pathway for all of your staff, from your entry-level coach all the way up to, your highest executive leadership.
That's great. One other question I have, because I'm assuming that if you could take an in-person meeting or a Zoom meeting, you're the type of person that I'll be there in person.
Heck yeah.
Okay, good. I was right.
I was actually so excited that I'm sitting right across from you today, because
it's just not the same, right?
I'm a hugger. I'm a people person, and
it's like energy fields moving around. Might as well get into it.
I love connection. I think definitely, going through the pandemic, we realized what we were missing, right?
So here's my question related to that. I spoke to the doc. I know people at Lionel, and you guys are, hey, look, this is about human interaction. It's about me building you up. It's about educating you. It's making you more confident. A lot of that's the way you meet people and the way you treat
Absolutely.
people. So my question for you, and I go back and forth with Dave Ganlin on this, is, hey, I'll do all my asynchronous and I'll put my education stuff up there, but there's nothing like when I teach a class where I'm calling on you directly. I'm saying, hey, what do you think about this? What's special sauce of that? Like, and then you popping jokes, and it's like, it's live, it's present.
Yeah.
And do you view Lionel saying like, hey, that's great, we could send someone to do that for you, but you got to understand, people need to ingest everything they need
100%.
to online, and then let's follow it up with
Yeah, so
bricks
all
and
of my
mortar.
programs, and that's kind of what I had spoke to earlier, is we're looking for that in-person mentorship. So, you can teach all of that in a classroom, but you cannot replace that human interaction, and especially in this industry, right? You need to show people by doing. You need to be with them, and you need to have that connection in person. So with my program, we have that in-person element, and we do lots of webinars, and we're working on kind of creating that additional in-person piece. And if we're working with a particular organization, we may do some education online, but the goal would be to come out and do an in-person training, right?
Yeah.
Bring out the best of the best to come in person and work with your staff, because I feel you can never replace that, you know?
So what is so let's say instead of talking to the audience that are potential students or have their employees go to Lionel, let's talk about people who have programs like mine.
Sure.
Right? So I have a Halo Academy and a business school. How do I get accredited with you, and how does that work? How do you build content out?
Yeah, so that's part of what I do also in my role is I help our director of curriculum and content, who's amazing.
Is that under your innovation title?
So I kind of have 4 different titles. Yeah.
I'm gonna get you an
I work
embroidered.
with the great Vincent Mezzo, who
after
I
my
think,
next deal closes, I'm gonna get like 6
I know. Well, I need like
embroidered.
a cape where I can just flip it
The
different
capes are
directions.
great, yeah, like the Technicolor Dream Color thing. Joseph.
I witnessed Wonder Woman today on Crazy Sock Date at my studio, so
Oh, really?
yeah, I'm all about it.
Oh, so you have a cape already?
I actually own about 3,
Yeah, we could
3
probably.
capes.
Yeah, yeah, I got a Batman
Just tell
cape.
me which color you need.
Yeah, we'll silk screen it. We'll save us some,
Yeah.
just in case you get promoted.
Yeah, but as far as how
God forbid we put your title on the cape and got embroidered, and then you got promoted. And
right,
you have to give it back to me.
we just had to embroider another
That's
title
that's
there.
not on me though. I shouldn't have to just upgrade the cape every time you get a promotion.
Yeah. Yeah,
Anyway.
but a great question. I mean, what we do is we take what you like, the content that you want, the curriculum that you want for your team, and we get it. We use what we have educationally to get it accredited. We are an accredited institution. We have an incredible director of curriculum who is, I want to say, is 30 years of experience in this. And we take everything that you have and we put it in this like beep, 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 like rubric. I won't bore you with that today, but we make sure that it meets all of the educational standards that we have to meet with the DEAC and all these accredited bodies.
Got it.
And then we make accredited courses where students get college credit. So not only do they get a cert and they get the knowledge, but we'll add on to that. They get college credit that they can use towards an associate's degree, bachelor's degree, you name it. So
That's great.
we take care of all that hard stuff. You just come to us and let us take care of you.
Great. So, did you used to be on the track and field team?
Yep. I've
Well-
been running since I was 4.
Sick. That's awesome. Is your track and field jacket like a little bit outdated?
I
And it
actually
looks like a
still have
running
my
jacket.
high school.
That's what I'm talking about.
With all my old
I
pins
feel
on
like
it.
no one throws out their track and field.
I was the captain of the track team and high school for 2
Oh,
years.
sick.
And
I love
actually
it.
with Julia Stamps, who's one of the most famous high school athletes of all time. And I had no idea that, like, because we just won everything. We went everywhere and she won everything, national champions. And I'm like, this is totally normal. And then I like became a coach myself of a high school team. And I'm like, this is not actually normal to walk
Wow.
around and win everything. So I had a very fortuitous, exciting, auspicious beginning in running. But then I got to reality. I'm like, oh, coaching's actually really hard. And you got to work for these championships.
And did you take any classes, or how did you kind of educate yourself on? I mean, I think I'm a basketball player and a basketball coach, and I don't need any training, but I probably do. So, did you take any
Yeah.
Lionel classes or other classes that were external that was like, hey, here's how you come from a player
I
to
sure
a coach?
did. So writing is kind of my superpower. It's my jam. I realize it's opened every single door in my entire life. And there was a essay competition. They were trying to get female coaches who are track and field and cross country coaches to do higher level education. And they said, write this essay and we'll sponsor 12 coaches to do this USA track and field level 1 track and field program. So I won, and I was very fortuitous because Terry Crawford, who's a woman, who was the former director of coaching for USA Track and Field, came to San Diego and actually taught the class. And I got the flu at the end of the class, but she came to me and she said, you know what, I see something really special in you, and I behoove you to go all the way. So I spent the next 2.5 years, hardest thing, but best thing I've ever done. Trained at the Olympic Training Center down here in Chula Vista, at IMG Academy. Got to work and I'm still working with some of the most incredible Olympic athletes and coaches in the world.
Awesome.
And 3.5 years later, and about 15 classes later, I became, part of the world endurance team. So I specialize in 800 meters to ultra marathon and beyond.
Wow.
And it was a lot of work, but it's one of the things I'm the most proud of in my whole career and in my whole life, because it was so hard. And
Yeah.
I always find that the things that are the hardest are usually the most worth doing.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be able to provide, I was working at a small private Jewish school, and I created the entire running program and track and field program. And I wanted to give those kids Olympic level coaching
Yeah, I
and
mean, it's
experience.
amazing. I feel like there's a lot of kids right now that go to these camps and they're not actually trained on the fundamentals, and
Absolutely. And we're
You
doing a
gotta put in the
disservice
work,
to our
you know?
athletes if we don't give them the best.
yeah, let's keep score. Like life, you keep scoring life. Let's keep score like when you first come out. Like it's
Yeah.
not a participatory
No.
environment. Like survival of the fittest. There's like sea lions that are going down every day, because they're not the fastest swimmer. I'm assuming. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
From the sea lions are listening.
Yeah, well, I saw some lazy sea lions the other day when I was in Marina Del Rey. That's
I
what brought
bet.
it up in my mind.
It's all this rain, It's
Yeah.
calming, very calming for them.
Yeah, it's got to be exhausting. Anyway, we are here. We hope you like that summary of where the industry is going, the fact that you should really educate people. And we look forward to talking further with you and getting to partner up and getting more and more people in, because I think there's an aha moment in every day that somebody takes some class of whatever they're doing and it changes the way they think or opens up something else. And that's kind of a daisy chain of like only positive things that could happen. So thanks for
Yeah.
coming on. Thanks for dedicating your life to what we're now called the Halo sector. And thanks for coming down in person. Much better off this way.
Thank you. Yeah, and I was just
Awesome.
last thing I would say, go to lionel.edu. You can find out more about my program and how you can support it. And we're excited to keep showing you what we can do. And I'd love to come back in the future and give you some updates.
Awesome. Now here's a signature of the book, because you're going to love this because you're an athlete. And
Thank
then
you.
you're also whatever else you are. You're an athlete first. So
Thank you.
awesome. Thanks.
You too.
Check in with you soon.
All right. Thank you.